And then he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أَلَا أُخْبِرُكَ عَلَى أَبْوَابِ الْبِرِّ. Can I tell you the doors of righteousness? الصَّوْمُ جُنَّةٌ. Fasting is a protection. It's a protection. When you fast, you're not going to be sinning. We know in Ramadan, we've all experienced it. You're much more guarding yourself. You're aware of yourself. الصَّوْمُ جُنَّةٌ. Junnah is something you hide behind. It's something that protects you, the shield. وَالصَّدَقَةُ تُطْفِي الْخَطِيئَةَ كَمَا يُطْفِي الْمَاءُ النَّارِ. And sadaqah, charity, will obliterate sin the way water puts out fire. وَصَلَاةُ الرَّجُلِ مِنْ جَوْفِ اللَّيْلِ. And the prayer of a man in the night. And then فَتَلَى تتجافى جنوبهم عن المضاجع يدعون ربهم خوفا وطمعا ومما رزقناهم ينفقون فلا تدري نفس ما أخفي لهم من قرة أعين جزاء بما كانوا يعملون. And then he read these ayahs from Surah Al-Sajdah, that they are those who raise تتجافى ترتفع عن المضاجع, on those places where they sleep, calling on Allah in hope and in fear. خوفا وطمعا, fear of the fire and hoping for Jannah. And they give out, they're charitable. And then, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, about tatajafa, there's a khilaf about it. Most of them say it's the tahajjud prayers. But there's a very interesting opinion, it's mentioned in the Mufassirun. One of the opinions is that it's any prayers after ghurub al-shams. Because the Jahili Arabs, it was very hot in Arabia. And the Jahili Arabs would actually sleep after Maghrib. And that's why waiting for the night prayer, because the Prophet ﷺ delayed the night prayer, that was a type of tahajjud for the Arabs, because they were accustomed to sleeping after the ghurub al-shams. So they had to actually wait. And so that's tahajjud in Arabic, means to avoid sleep, putting off sleep. For the people of Sarf here, the students, right? It's tafa'ul, for tajannub, avoiding hujud. So that's why in the Maliki school, any prayers after the 6 prayers after Maghrib, the 2 prayers after Isha, and any prayers after that time is considered tahajjud. And then he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, أَلَا أُخْبِرُكَ على رأس الأمر. Can I tell you what the real head of this whole thing is? وعموده وذروة سنامه, its pillar and its pinnacle, its acme. بلى يا رسول الله, tell me. Mu'adh radiallahu anhu wants to hear it. Tell me. And he said, رأس الأمر الإسلام. The foundation of this is Islam. وعماده الصلاة. And its central pillar is prayer. وَذِرْوَةُ سَنَامِهِ الْجِهَادِ. Which, if you read the books, it's not just military jihad. It's all forms. And this is why the Malikis in the Bab al-Jihad put all the fara'id al-kifaya. Jihad is one aspect. The physical fighting, protecting the barriers, the ribat of the Muslim lands. That's one aspect. And then he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, أَلَا أَدُلُّكَ عَلَى مِلَاكِ ذَلِكَ كُلِّ. Can I tell you how to get all of this? All of this. Think about all of this. How do I get all of this? فَأَخَذَ بِلِسَانِهِ كُفَّ عَلَيْكَ هَذَا. That's how you get all of it. Just take hold of your tongue. Ibn Mas'ud said, the thing that deserves prison most is the tongue. When the Prophet ﷺ said that, what did Mu'adh say? أَإِنَّا لَمُؤَخَذُونَ بِمَا نَتَكَلَّمُ بِهِ. Are we going to be taken into account for what we actually say? Because they're thinking action, speech. They're thinking action. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, تَكِرَتْكَ أُمُّكَ. This is an Arab idiom. It's not, if you translate it directly, it sounds very bad. May your mother weep over your death. But it's an idiom like just shock. Like, Mu'adh, how could you say that? وَهَلْ تَكُبَّ النَّاسَ فِي النَّارِ عَلَى وُجُوهِهِمْ إِلَّا حَصَائِدُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ? Are people thrust into the hellfire on their faces, dragged? مُكِبًّا عَلَى وَجْهِهِ, the Quran says. And they said, how does a man walk on his face? He said, the one that made them walk on his 2 feet will make him walk on his face. Look at the snake, walks on its belly. Yimshi in Arabic. Yimshi ala batnihi. That's what the Prophet ﷺ said. It's amazing hadith. Amazing hadith. All of that, guard your tongue. The Prophet in the Muwatta of Imam Malik, he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Man waqahu Allahu sharra ithnain, walajal jannah. Whoever is protected from 2 evils will enter paradise. And then they waited, and then somebody said, Ya Rasulullah, are you going to tell us what they are? And he was silent. And then the man repeated it again. The Prophet ﷺ was silent. And then the man repeated it again, and somebody told him, stop. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, Man waqahu Allahu sharra ithnain, walajal jannah. ما بين لحييه وما بين رجليه دخل الجنة. ما بين, and then he repeated it 3 times. What's between his 2 jaws and what's between his 2 thighs. The tongue and the genitals. And they're related because there's a pleasure in speaking. And in fact, Imam al-Ghazali says, there are people يتلذذ بالخوض في أعراض الناس. They get a pleasure out of speaking ill of other people. That it's a type of pleasure. They enjoy speaking ill of other people. Ibn Mas'ud Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu, and there's either it's mawquf alayh or some Imam al-Ghazali yarfa'u ila Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, for those of you know that sign. He said, لا تمزق بلسانك أعراض حملة القرآن والطلاب العلم. Do not rip up, tear up with your tongue the good honor of those who carry the Quran and of those who are seeking knowledge. فَتُمَزِّقَكَ كِلَابُ النَّارِ. And then you're ripped apart by the dogs of hell. And the tongue is a weighty thing. Ar-Rahman علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. It comes last. Why does it come last? So the first is the Quran, and then the next is the creation of the human being, and then the tongue. And this is because without the Quran, you are not in the maqam of insan. And once you are in the maqam of insan, you're ready for bayan. And there's no wow, there's no atf there. There's no Ar-Rahman 'allama al-Quran wa khalaqa al-insan wa 'allamahu al-bayan.